Welcome back. It's Rosa Hart. I'm not tired right now, so I'm doing this. Herb was procured from the room. For a while after that, his face remained pale and his eyes shut, never once blinking open. After examining him, the doctor kit his bow, his face dark. Well, is it bad? Yes. I'm surprised he was able to hide it this long. He only had a few days left. I couldn't believe it. He was that sick. How could I have been so blind that I didn't notice? I know he often had cough fits, and when he fought off the bandits, he had fainted. Knowing how prone he was to illness, I should have guessed that he failed sickness with something. Herb's pale cheeks had become wax. It was hard to tell if he was even breathing. I hid my face in my hands. If only I noticed sooner. Rose. Yuri looks at me with a concerned expression and hugs my shoulders. You noticing sooner wouldn't have changed anything. Nang's voice from behind me was emotionless. I had my eyes on his for a long time. And now, just when I could finally use him, hid his eyes on him for a long time. To annoyed around, those wouldn't have seemed strange words. My fiancé, whose pale turn had been known by my real father most of his life. But coming from none, those words had a different meaning. What exactly do you mean by that? I think you know what I mean, princess. This man has been sick since before he came here. Yuri and Martin listened with concern to our conversation. What are you talking about? Everyone always knew that Herb was sick. Huh? Herb turns his head. We did know, didn't we, Martin? This is going to sound strange, but I can't help feeling like I've watched Herb die once. And not only that, I even feel like I remember his funeral. And crossed his arms, watching Herb where he lied. His gaze was full of doubt and suspicious. Yuri put his hands on his chin as he prompted. Now that you mention it, I kind of... Wait, hang on a second. This is no time to be talking about that kind of sort of thing. Yuri's frustration shrugged at his head. No. This isn't something to decide at sickness man's bedside. Yuri, man, none have stepped out of the room at some point, calling from the corner. Come quickly. Even without our strange, that won't stop the demons from attacking. Yes, sir, right away. Martin left the room with unresolved. Yuri also stood. As he passed by me, he clapped me on his shoulders with a kind smile. Don't worry too much. I guess this isn't much help, though. Yuri, we'll protect the castle, so at least we can let her rest. Right, I'll be counting on you guys. Just leave it to me. With a child grin, Yuri ran from the room. I turned to the doctor. What should we do? For the time being, there's nothing more we can do. I too will take my leave. I'll return when he wakes up. Okay, I'll send a message when he does. You all can get some rest too. I'll take care of her from here. After dismissing the page and Miss Service, it was only Herb and I left in the room. Herb. Her face was as white as clear sheet of paper. This man had borne his illness quickly, never once complained, even to me. Was he now about to lose himself without even having shown his true self? Now that I think of it, he never took off his clothes. Even during the nights in his room, he stayed properly dressed. Perhaps that had been in order to hide his poor condition. I reached out and held Herb's hand. His fingers were as cold as ice. Up by the feeling that he was even now falling away, I began rubbing his hand. After a while, just as a little warmth was starting to return his fingers, Herb's eyes lightly fluttered. "Herb, can you hear me?" I hesitated, trying to speak to him. In response to the sound of my voice, he slowly opened his eyes. "Where am I?" "We're in your room. After the meeting yesterday, you started throwing up blood and passed out." "Oh, I'm sorry you had to see that." I shook my head. "Don't worry about it. How are you feeling? I'll get the doctor." "No, it's okay, Princess. I actually feel strangely good right now. I'd rather talk to you with you alone right now. Would you mind?" Herb clung tightly to my hand, but even so, his grip was still weak. I could hardly believe this was the man who so easily held me down a few days ago. "Of course I don't mind. So please, don't speak so tenderly. You're too kind. That only means my heart aches." Herb smiled brightly, barely, and then, his hand still in mine, his eyelids flew closed. "I've been preparing for death. I only wish that had I known it would be this soon, I would have been nicer to you. Instead of fussing about small things, I should have done what Kern said, be more honest." "Herb, and always worry about things like those memories these are. I waste so much time." Herb opened his eyes and then asked me in a low voice, "The memories I have are false. That's true, isn't it?" "Yes." "Since when?" "It's been less than a month since I met you." "I see." Herb lets out a long breath and then looks up for a while at the ceiling. "It all originated because of me. When the castle first fell, I asked the demon spirit to summon all you for help. By his magic, you were given your false memories. The memories were the price paid for my wish. So it's all my fault." "It's okay, Princess." Herb gives me a smile. "None of that matters to me anymore. But I've been caught up in trivial things. I didn't want to set my affection for you. I hated myself for feeling that way, and yet at the same time I was jealous of the man in my memories." Herb closed his eyes, a peaceful expression on his face. "I know now that none of that should have mattered. I love you, the woman in my memories, with even flower of my being, the one who let me sleep on her lap. I love you with all my heart. I realize that there's not a single thing in the world more important than that." All of a sudden, Herb was overtaken by a fit of cough. I rubbed his painful back. "Herb, don't talk anymore. It's only making you weaker. Just a little more. Just a little more. Princess, will you forgive me?" As Herb grasped my hand, I could see in his eyes. "I hurt you, tortured you. Can you forgive me for that?" Of course I could forgive you." I looked down and shook my head. I didn't want him to see the tears in the corner of my eyes. "Don't think any more of it. Now that I understand how you feel, Herb would only be here at most a few more days." That made my heart ache with sadness. He was then filled with regret. He looked about to cry with happiness. "If only I told you sooner. For a while after that, he settled into a thoughtful silence. He must have been exhausted. His eyes slowly opened and closed, again and again. Then finally his eyes remained shut as he spoke. I was more of a fool than I ever imagined, simply realizing that now, meaning my time here in this world, was worthless. His voice was strong and resolved. His eyes opened. His early gentle expression disappeared, replaced by that of the prince I know so well. Princess, can you ask Nun and all the sons to come here? I want to give them a strategy, but hon, you're still... Never mind that. If I don't do this, there'll be no point to me having been here. Before I die, I will at least protect this beloved country of yours. Her cheeks had more color, and his eye glimmered with bright light. Using my help to sit up, Herb gave his orders from the stern bed. According to the West Watchmen, the demons haven't yet gathered in a very large group. They must be coming from an opening into the hall, but there's no time to search for it now. I think the best bet is to fight Runcorn Castle and burn Kern's court. Nothing fun, nothing gain, I suppose. Precisely. It's then that we make our move before the demons increase in numbers. Hearn gave a quick bow of his head. So, how many demons are inside of Kern Castle? Answer to Mern's question came from the corner of the room. A priest, they are preparing 500. And the number of our remaining soldiers, I guess it's about 1/5 of that number. That's nothing. We've fought off twice as many enemies before. If we wait any longer, the demons will reform a larger army and face a tough battle. We will have to make some sacrifice on our end. However, as for now, our enemy is still mostly in the dark as to our plans. Relying on that alone may be our downfall, but we have no other choice. We won't attack head on. We will need to lure the demons out of the castle and scratch them. No one looked on would imagine that the man spoke couldn't even sit up on his own. His face had hung, but whereas was a firm power in his gaze and voice. So, what about the protector of this castle? I will support them. I gasped quickly from where I stood behind him. Is that so, in spirits of your Kern? I should be able to imagine at least as long as the time it takes for you to fade. Her eyes shone out a strong light. Soon the great Lord will not let the battle drag on. Very well said, for a dying man. Ern laughed with amusement, and then slapped his thighs. Young Munch. We move out right away. Prepare for battle. Ern and the other men left, giving her and I a moment alone. I suppose his firm body from behind. He took my hand and spoke in between Rag's breath. Are you afraid? I nodded. Yes, a little. That's very honest of you. Just be prepared. No matter how hard we might struggle, the battle will be over by dawn. Okay. Of the demons' forces from the castle, some may come this way to attack the castle. If by some chance Herm been able to find out a plan from hell, none is dangerous. The small difference in time could mean the difference between victory and death. In fact, things happened exactly as Herb had predicted. The swarm of demons head this way. The first who come running into the room, Burton was pale. Herb, who had been lying with his eyes closed, suddenly snapped them open and sat up. How many? I believe around 50 or so. Have the pen I ordered been made? Yes, sir. Everything is in place. Herb nods and then spoke in soft voice. Hun, it's all over if the castle walls are breached. The demons are taller than us. Even without breaking the gates, they might come in by the roof. Be ready for that and take due prepare. Herb didn't give his orders in a loud, booming voice. It may have been because he didn't have much strength left, but right now, his quiet, simple voice was calming to everyone. Think of it little this. The more demons we kill here, the easier Num's job will be. Remember that it will be impossible to destroy the demon's leader without our effort here. Yes, sir. The friend gave a deep bow. His expression and voice showed that he trusted her with all his heart. If not for his illness, we might have had a future together. Protect the country. On Herb's pale face, only his eyes still held a burden of concern, the same way a castle burns brightly just before it goes out. And like that, the battle at the castle began. A party from vessels stopped by to give orders. It was an unexpected quiet night. The silence was broken only by the cries of the battle. Herb even had the doctor stay away. Together, just the two of us, gazed up at the moon together. The door opened, screen door. It's hard to believe we're actually right in the middle of battle. I know. The moon's very beautiful. Herb whispers with satisfaction. Ooh. Select the ending. I'm saving because it says select ending. I'm gonna wish the bottom one first. I wish we could always be alone together. Like this. I whispered the words without thinking and then blushed. Herb glanced at me and then simply teased. I'm glad to hear you say that. Hey, you're making fun of me, aren't you? No. I am really happy. As he spoke, Herb sagged and moves under his breath. Oh, Jesus. Suddenly I hear footsteps. A friend slides into the room and falls prone on the floor. What's going on? He was suddenly pale, and he couldn't speak. I felt nervous as we wait for his answer. Cough spread. The Falcon raised his head. The demons. All of a sudden, they all disappeared. What? Herb and I look at each other. And then, from the distance of Kern Castle, the friend was set up. The sudden sparks was supposed to be a sign that Noah had burned her body. The father's voice was terrible. His whisper is dry, dirty face with his fist. Her face filled with shock, which gunned more into a smile. Seeing that proudly slightly child grin brought feelings of pride and then to my own heart. I told you I'd protect us all, didn't I? Yes, you certainly did. It was all over now. As long as this country, the castle, and the people were safe, much sooner than I expected. Now, I wouldn't be too sure of that if I were you. Huh? It was the first time in a while I've heard that burden voice. Princess, where on earth did that voice come from? Hey, what did you mean by that? I took a dagger at the incense. The dagger's voice had an incense become low and booming one. Light showed cracks in the shadows so bright I couldn't keep my eyes open. The dagger then floated up in the air all by itself and then rang. After a sound like a end break it off and falls to the floor, the silence remained. The light was nowhere to be seen. The moon shined in the sky. The buzz of night bugs silence as nothing had happened. What just happened? In time reached out and touched the dagger falling on the floor. I grabbed the handle and pulled it out. A fine blind powder slid from the shed and was quite blown away by the wind. What does this mean? Princess, was that? And grabbed my arm. Yes, that it was the demon spirit that I asked for help. You said that the castle had fallen once, didn't you? Yes, I did. Did the dagger do that too? Yes, the demon inside the dagger. There's a spirit living inside it. Herm's face quickly becomes grim, and he turned to the vessel without a shrug. Get everyone in the castle outside, right now. Sir? There's no time to split. Hurry. Yes, sir, right away. The vessels ran off, and Herb again grabs my hand. You too, Princess. Hurry outside. The spirit magic is going to be broken. What? In a few minutes, the castle is going to fall. I look at Herb's face with disdain. I'm going to go over here. So I don't have to, so I can pick the other ending. The top one. In a few minutes, this castle is going to fall. Hermione continues. It may not even take that long. In any case, you have to hurry and get out of here. Then you coming with me? I grab Herb's hand and he flashed a bitter smile. Are you crazy? There's no way those thin arms of yours can carry me out of here. Leave me and go, Princess. I'm going to die soon anyway. I'd rather just be alone. Woman's voice hurt my ears and get on my nerves. The look of Herb was the same as the one he wore as he tortured me in his room. He was doing it on purpose. He was purposely being mean, trying to get me to leave. In that case, I'll stay. Hearing that, Herb raises his eyes. Why would you say something so stupid? I'm not stupid, I yell at the top of my lungs. I already watched my first fiancé die, even though I can't remember him. I can remember the sadness I felt. My father, my brother, everyone I love passed away from this world. Are you trying to tell me that I'm supposed to go on living after losing you too? I threw my body on top of her. I'm so tired. If I'm doomed to walk the road to the next world, I want to do it with you. I could hear the fans beating of Herb's heart. I could tell from the sounds alone that he didn't have much time to live. Are you saying that you want to die with me? Yes, I am. Really? Yes, I wanted to be apart from you again. From all around, I could hear the rumble and of the castle. Bits of dust flowing around from the castle ceiling. Then coming the sound of earth groan, and then a fun shake under me. Herb had been gentle at my face, but then he put his hand to my chin and gently kissed me. His cold lips slowed past mine. That's the first time you kissed me. I was afraid of passing my illness on to you. Herb spoke and then happily covered my face and hands. But it doesn't matter anymore. You're going to be my wife. I won't let your old fiancé or anyone else have you. I just made up my mind. Herb's arms wrapped around my back. Let's live happy ever after together in the next world, Princess. I would love to. I buried my face in Herb's chest and closed my eyes. Shaking of the ground grew more and more violent. The floor we lay on rocked like waves, but still, it wasn't the last bitter afraid. I wasn't alone. That fact alone compares to the first time the castle failed. It was true happiness, maybe. As I remember back to the night, it suddenly occurred to me, maybe my true wish hadn't been to save the castle and its people. That night, had my struggle through been of being all alone? If so, then I guess my wish was granted after all. I could hear the crashes and thunks of the objects falling around the ground. The sun grew closer and closer, and fine dust piled up right on top of us. In a matter of moments, we would die and sink this castle as rubble to the ground. I hoped that our body would be buried deep in the earth where no one would dig them up. Oh, I just remembered. Herb spoke Suddenly spoke up. Remember what? In the world where I came from, there were no such things as daisies. I finally felt like I can breathe again. Wow. Herb's voice was filled with sudden grin joy. I couldn't help grin myself. As we exchanged our last kiss, I felt something large and heavy come falling down above our heads. Hey, please, I'm so tired. Wake up. Just let me sleep. I'm so happy right now. I don't even care if I die, as long as I die with her. Come on, wake up. I felt my chin lift straight and gentle, opened my eyes. Hey, you're awake. The round face of sun before me relaxed into a smile. Still not entirely awake, I blinked then around me. I was near the forest. It was then by the middle of the day. I wonder if I'm near the castle. Up hearing the whisper, the man made a puzzled face. There's no castle around here. What? But the castle fell, and then the spell had broken, and the castle had fallen again. Shouldn't I have died in the ruins? The middle of fog, but I had the feeling that I'd forgotten something very important. Where am I? This is Mern Pren. I found you passed out here on the ground. Well, I never heard of a country by that name. At least there was no such country in any of the lands around my own. Oh, eyes flew open wide. Herb, where's Herb? I scanned the area, but I didn't see him anywhere. Oh, you were with someone? What did you say his name was? Herb. Turn Herb. Have you seen him anywhere? Turn Herb. The man looked surprised. Oh, so you know him? Where is he? He's very sick. I got to hurry and find him. Wait, just calm down. The man puts his hand on my shoulders with a turn direction. Are you talking about Turn Herb? One of Turn 2's prizes, Turn. If so, I heard that he died on Mern a long time ago, huh? That's impossible. He said he would die with me. We were supposed to die together, buried in the fallen castle, and the man smoothed my shoulders. Don't get yourself too worked up. You shouldn't a number of run. I already called for help, so just calm down and wait here for a while. It'd be best if you took some time to rest and return at my house, don't you think? Now the man said so, I noticed that I was terrible pain and ran by. And it had been a dream that the castle had collapsed. It wasn't a dream, and yet Herb wasn't here. Herb, where on earth could he be? Could he have died without me? I ended up being taken to a soldier's house. He had a kind wife and young son, as well as service male and female service. Apparently he was a long warrior. The poor thing, she's very well dressed and has manners. She might be a princess from somewhere. It seems her head was hit when her castle fell. Well, then it's no wonder that she's confused. I was making a lot of trouble for everyone. I knew that, but I couldn't bring myself to do anything about it. The seams of men I felt as Herb had left me had turned my life to. I spent the entire day lying looking outside. Through the open door and across the run, there were flowers. I unconsciously searched for Daisy along them, even knowing there wasn't my castle. Then unexpectedly, I caught sight of a child's face. Miss Rose, can I come in? It was the child of the house. He looked to be only 5 or so, but he was clever and well-mannered and very well spoke for a kid. Come in. Did you come to check on me? Yep. Roy gleamed around and then hurries over to me and sat down. I heard that you didn't finish your meal again. That's right, I'm sorry. I feel bad after having it cooked, especially for me. I couldn't bring myself to swallow. And I also had bad feelings. My wounds didn't heal. My chest burned with a sharp pain. It must have been injured eternally. Most likely, I didn't have much longer. I could only stand at death's door and prayed that Herb was on the other side waiting for me. My mom told me that being sick makes you feel sad. So I got these for you. Oh, it's lovely. I appreciate the light purple flowers. They remain daisies, but they're still slightly different. That was so nice of you. What are these flowers called? There are archers. The child nods and answers. I see, archers. I've never seen them before. They grow all over the place. We didn't have any where I came from. Through all my confusion, there was one sided thing I did know. This was the place that Herb was originally from. Running back to when the castle had fallen, Herb said he remembered something. Maybe he remembered and returned to his old world. That was what the daggers had said. So perhaps that was why I survived the castle destruction and was here now. Herb had brought me along with him to another world. Hey, have you heard of the flowers called daisies? The boy shook his head. No, I know dwarfers, but I see. As we talked, I heard footsteps come our way. The man who first helped me come into my room. Upon seeing the child, he broke into a broad smile. Hey there, buddy. Were you bothering Miss Rose? No, for I came to cheer her up. And he did. He brought me these beautiful flowers. I see. I hope he didn't be in trouble. Not at all. In fact, it's been nice to have him. After staring at me for a moment, the man slowly started to speak. Miss Rose, actually, I heard a strange rumor about Cousin Herb. Huh? What kind of rumor? Well, you see, there was a young man found in a near village who appeared to look like him. And where is he now? He's staying in a bar in the village. Heard that he very sick and isn't expected to live much longer. But it had to be Herb. Even I had been this badly hurt in the castle collapse. It was impossible to imagine that Herb, already so sick, could have been okay. Perhaps because of his illness, he doesn't seem to remember who he is. He's just been looking for someone, then calling out for a woman's name, then to pop myself up my elbows. I in fact learned myself frown. Please, you have to take me to see him. Careful. I tried to stand up, but collapsed to the ground. Tears dripped from in my blanket. I thought I'd never see him again, but now he might be alive. Don't push yourself. You won't be able to walk, but don't worry. Actually, he's on his way here now. He is? He was too much for the village to handle, so I decided to have him brought to stay here. I felt it had the hand of God that brought the two of you together. The man gave a gentle smile as he spoke. Thank you so much. I bowed my head and heart full of thanks. Not as a princess, but as a woman, I've never been more grateful for someone's kindness. I wished to die along Herb, and at that very moment, I'd be safe. Oh no, really, it was nothing. From behind his home father, the little boy peeked out. Father, I think he's here. Excuse me, but where should I send him? I could hear a voice from the yard outside. Unable to bear my head, I got out of my bed. Oh wait. The lamps were getting weak. Near Cloud, I snuck out of the perch. Lying on the board wheel, with painful breath. There he was. Herb. I shouted, went to his side, and tightly grabbed his hand into mine. It was Herb, after all. He grew pale and grinned, but I knew at first sight it was him. It's no use talking to him. He doesn't even remember his own name. It's okay, I don't care. He was alive. That was good enough for me. Herb. I said his name and squeezed his hand. Then his eyes fluttered open. Herb. I said his name again, and this time he slowly opened his eyes. His lips found move. It sounded like he was saying my name. Yes, it's me. Illness, Herb was even more shaken than he's been before. The castle fell so much that it was a wonder he ever was still alive, and yet you're still tired to find me. When I combed my fingers through his hair, He made a tender-look smile. I wondered who I should thank for finding him. Finally, my wish came true. I wasn't alone anymore. Even the state Herb had searched for me wanted me. It felt the strength left my body. I slowly lowered my head onto Herb's chest. Miss Rose, what's wrong? I heard the man's voice, but I couldn't even answer. I was terribly sleepy. The warmth of her body felt so nice. So sleepy, smiling together with Herb again. At last, I fall into a deep, deep sleep. My head hurts so much. I have a headache now. I was so sad. Please tell me that's not the good ending, because that's so sad. Oh. Oh, right here. I wish everyone could see them watch the moon together like this. It really is. I wish everyone could watch the moon like this with us. Everyone, look at the moon together. Yes, maybe tomorrow even, after the war was over. We could gather everyone for a moon viewing. Everyone including Nern and Yern, Martin and Tara. Of course, you'll be there too. Herb's eyes narrowed as he smiled. That would be a lot of fun. Suddenly I heard footsteps and Vern sliding on the floor. What's going on? He was such a panic he couldn't find. I felt nervous as he watched for his answer. Coughing, spitting, Vern raises his head. The demons, they're all of a sudden disappeared. What? Herb and I looked at each other. And then from this Vern castle, the flame was sent up. Vern's friend was found to be a sign that none had burned him by. Vern's voice was certain, and he wiped his dirty face with his fist. Grace feeling shocked with Vern into a smile, seeing the proudly sliding shadow grin brain, blah blah blah. I told you I'd protect you all, didn't I? Yes, you certainly did. It was all over now. As long as this country, the castle, and the 7 people were safe. Much sooner than I expected. Now, I wouldn't be sure of that, huh? Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. We've read this, we've read that, we've read that. Dagger floats up, ring disappears. Light was seen. What just happened? Blah, blah. Yeah. What does this mean? Yeah, that was the demon. Get everyone out of the castle now, sir. There's no time to explain. Hurry. Yes, sir, right away. Everyone. You two, princess, hurry outside. The spirit's magic is going to break. What? In a few moves, this castle is going to fall. Chapter A. Dust to dust. In a few moves, this castle is going to fall. Her ruin continues. It may not even take that long. In any case, you must hurry and get out of here. Then I'm coming with you. I grab her hand and he flashed a bitter smile. Are you crazy? There's no way. We read that. I'm going to die anyway. I felt blood rush to my head and flow of anger. There's no way in hell you can say that and expect me to leave you here. You must think incredibly little of me if you really think I would do something like that. Herb grinned sadly. When it comes down to it, my start was poor. I guess you could leave me. But I recalled you saying the very same thing to me once, knowing I could never leave you. You ran to when I asked if he wanted to know the truth, even me leaving this world. There's no time to talk about this. I wrap my arms around Jared and pull all my strength to shout. Whoa, that's some muscle. Don't make fun of me. I'm sure I can manage a guy as skinny as you somehow or another. But it really was no use. Never mind. Go get someone to come help, Princess. I promise I'll be good and go with you. At once I started to do as Herb said, but then stopped. I felt I'd seen Herb's eyes are alight from the sight of sore eyes of wrath. No, Princess, I would never live with myself if you went and killed yourself while I was gone. Half dragging him, I brought Herb with me to their car. I could tell that he was struggling to move his legs, trying to walk by myself. I couldn't give up. I was the one who brought him here. I couldn't let him face such a sad end, being buried alive, no matter how unseeing and stupid it might look. I had to keep going. Just as we managed to make it to Vern, the floor starts from underneath me. Princess! Herb throws his body over to protect me. Through that, been no sign of fire, raining down onto us, shining back tiles from the roof. The two of us fall in the corridor, trying on top of each other. The ground shook hard, impossible to stay up. They got to wear some around the courtyard, trying to avoid the falling debris. The earth under my feet started to groan and would surround spread open any second. And at that very moment, right before my eyes, there was a simple white flower. Princess, look, where the daisies used to be. There was, of course, no time even to ask why. I uncrawled up my hands and knees. We made it over to the small flowers. It was a point that I must have lost consciousness, but by the time I came to earth, had stopped shaking. It's so quiet. Through the very cracks of my eyes, I only could see clear blue skies, and then I saw Daisy seem to grin at me not kindly. There's on my tongue. I felt the warmth of Herb's hand. When I looked up at him, appearing to be asleep. After making sure of the rain falling chest breathe, I saw in relief. Princess, Princess, where are you? And shouted echoed through the castle blue sky, and a lazy smile crossed my lips. The garden burned, and even the walls collapsed. I thought for sure both of you were dead, and would come and found us, told us afterwards. But I suppose miracles do happen. The spot where the daisies was the only place that was safe. It's almost as if the daisy protected the two of you. We were in the burned remain of the Iron Castle. It was turned quarters. Why did you say we should go to the daisies, Herb? I asked as he looked out at the daisy, moved to a spot where we could see it from the room. Herb turned and smiled from where he lied. At least I had found possible what he did. The reason the castle fell was because that was actually a crucial state. Because the little demon disappeared along the dagger. Its magic also disappeared. Right, I understand that much. So what about the daisies then? I took my head and looked at her, curious. That was a daisy I brought back to the castle the time we went for a walk together. I planted in the end of moving it. I saw a spot where the war was over. The flowers alone were as a new object brought in after the castle took its managed state. Herb smiled. To be honest, I didn't know why. I thought that going to the flowers would be safe us. I only thought that a object not there where the castle first fell would be destroyed. So that's why. Herb had cut down all the daisies that had originally been grown at the castle. There was no reason that a new daisy would disappear along with the magic. Otherwise, it's possible that maybe your former fiancé saved us. Herb reached out his hand. When I took it, he looked at me with a gazing like that of someone proud of a toy. But what was our flower? So I was hoping you'd think of me as the one that saved your life. Oh, Herb. Sometimes the man could be such a child. But still, it's pretty strange. Everyone completely vanished. Yeah, no kidding. And to think that no one even remembers them. Han had disappeared. So had Yun, Han, and Turn. The vessels who gone with him to Kun. The castle had no friend or why they were there. They only knew that a brave man had saved them, though some said it was a measure of God. Not even you. Lucky you weren't run out of here. I agree. Her smile was widening. All of the people of the castle had forgotten Herb too. Only the vessel who he ordered to get everyone out of the castle. He alone didn't remember Herb. He told everyone that Herb was the one who saved them. Had told everyone that he's been a Turn, whose secret had been lying his assassin. Though Herb had finally been accepted and had now ruined his health. Herb stand for a while at the daisies, but suddenly spoke. Princess, I remembered something. Remember what? The reason I thought these were something special about the daisy when I first saw them, these flowers didn't grow in place where I grew up. Or perhaps maybe they haven't yet been brought over from wherever country they were from. Oh, so then, to you, they really were a rare flower. Right, even though I lost my memory, some part of me still remembered. It's like something I was still myself. Her smiled and then looked at me with an innocent expression. I got to see something rare and beautiful flower. I got to meet you. It's been fun. After that, her eyes slowly closed. Herb? Didn't answer. I tried to trace my fingers along his lips. They were cold but soft. Yes, it had been fun. I gave Herb a slight kiss. That was our first and last kiss, our first touch anywhere other than our fingertips. After we'd been saved from the castle ruins, he told me not to. He said he wouldn't kiss me, not wanting to pass his illness on to me. And that's he never made love to me knowing that he was going to die. No matter how cruel he actually towards me, he never truly been able to hurt me. This afterward childish and deadly beloved man, thank you for everything. I raised my head and smiled. Rest in peace. I watched tears trail down my cheeks of her face, smiling if in a dreamful sleep. Okay, the second one was true ending, I guess. So that's A and B. Okay, I was wondering if there was 4 endings, but no, there's just 1. 2 endings, just with multiple things. There's a sequel. Oh, I'm not going to do the sequel right now, but we can do the sequel as well. Peace, guys.